Hi, and welcome back to the All Scale Slot Car Den. I'm Dennis, and I'm going to cut right to the chase here. I've made my first major upgrade to my Carrera digital slot car track. If you know me, I'm usually a set it and forget it kind of guy. When I find something I like, I stick to it and just run it into the ground because I'm really enjoying it. And I'm pretty limited here in my slot car room. I have, it's I think a 12 by 10 area. And so it's a small room for Carrera Digital, but it works. If you've watched my first ever video, actually my first ever was a two-part. The first part one was where I was just introducing myself. Part two is where I got to my track. Now that was about 4 years ago. It's over 4 years ago now, and I have been with that track ever since. I only made one minor little adjustment to it last year sometime, and with the exception of that, that track was remained exactly the same as it was in my uh, introduction video. So for me to make a major change is pretty extraordinary. I know there's people out there like Ryan from PNW Slot Car Dad. He's like on his 100th track or getting close to it. I think he's on 90 or something. That's extraordinary. For me, I'm just set and forget it. When you have a tight space to work with, then it's more difficult to really find something that works. And when I find it, I just enjoy it. But what I had worked great, but as my grandkids are progressing and they're getting more into racing, as they're getting older now, I've noticed that there's been parts of the track that had some carnage that was a little difficult to get to, or that was, it was just a pretty major disruption in the track. So I changed it around a little bit. Let's get to it. Basically, I'm calling it major, but it's a nice adjustment to kind of rectify those areas that were causing problems. So basically, the track is still the same. The whole outside here is basically the same. Now, when you come around here, this is where it changed. Now, I used to have a little loop back around here, and what would happen is that this is where all the carnage was happening right here. It wasn't much of a sharp turn, but I always thought, coming through here, you don't get much speed, but whatever was happening, all that carnage would happen back here. Either someone would skid out and would get hit, or they would just slide off and they would run, off to this into the barriers, which for some reason the outside barriers, those walls are fantastic. They contain everything, but when they were up here, they didn't, and they would snap off even if I clipped them on. Extra secure, they would still break off in whatever happened. And it was just creating a lot of carnage right in this area, in this curve. And so I did away with that. Now that would curve around here and go back this way and then curve back around the TV, if you can remember that. So basically all that's the same. The only thing is I got rid of this and I made this something that I said that I would never want to do, is this overpass or this bridge. And I wanted to experiment, and I said, let me give this a chance. And you know what? It's not so bad. So I'm enjoying it. So it creates a lot of possibilities having that. So I made this come over here and sweep around this way, and I put my pit lane over here instead of on the front straight over here. I've got this special area for the pit lane, and I really enjoy that. Most people, when they come and race, they're over here, and so it gives a nice perspective. When you're coming around, you could see when you're in the pits and you're about to leave, you see what's coming up behind you. And I like that. I like that you can anticipate cars coming around. So when you're coming out, you get that visual look and a check before you come out and cause more carnage over here. And then you come out in this nice little infield area here. I enjoy that. And curve back around and behind the TV, which nobody's ever had an issue with the TV. In a way, it's kind of a tunnel turn. It's a mystery turn. There is still that outside to inside lane changer back there. So that remains, and people know it's back there and they know when to switch lanes if they want to. And so that has all remained. So that's just a little update, little I call it major because to me it's major. This I'm hoping to stay with for a long time. It's already been grandkid tested and approved. They really enjoy it here. Uh, if you know from the first couple of videos I did, it's the Circuit of the Ark, which that is for this Noah's Ark piece. My wife is a huge collector of Noah's Ark. We have it. We have nice displays of Noah's Ark in our home, and she really enjoys it. She's gotten to the point where she only looks for the very special items that you don't see every day, because all of those run-of-the-mill ones, she's got them, and they get kind of to the point where it gets kind of redundant. So now she's only looking for specialty pieces. And she donated this for the track, and that's been the centerpiece of the track. It's been the theme of the track all these years. I got some animals to almost like Noah's Ark has just landed here, and the animals are coming and exploring the racetrack. And I need to get better scale. They're a little too large in a lot of cases, so that's something for the future. But for now, I'm just enjoying it, just to have some scenery. I'm not really a big scenery guy. Like I always say, I always leave that to the grandkids. If they want to get that, in the future, if they want to tinker with things like that, that's fine. They can have at it. But for now, this is the theme of it. We have the Noah's Ark with the animals. I was able to get these pit crewmen. My grandkids love having their individual pits where they can stop. If you're aware of how digital works with Carrera, anything after this, your car will be able to eligible for gas and repairs and whatever, as long as you cross that. So anything here, all the way. If you stop, you can even stop on the track and you'll be fine taking your pit stop. But if you stop in your stalls here, which they each have their own individual now, you can do what you need and get going. So just a quick update. We have an Italian themed track now, since this is supposedly in Italy. This is if Noah's Ark had landed in Italy. And so this is what we're looking at. And of course, I've got my Field of Dreams also. That's my favorite place on earth in Iowa. Had played catch on the field there with my son back in 2005, and we had a great time. It's just magical. If you've never seen the movie, oh my gosh. I got that baseball at the time back then. I don't know how it is now. I know I'm really thankful that it has caught on, and then they've played some Major League Baseball games there, and there's a nice field there now, nice stadium. When I went, it was basically how it was in the movie, and so that was magical. I don't know if it's lost any of that charm. I hope it hasn't. But I'm glad it's still around. And this is my most recent Father's Day gift from our son. Field of Dreams main entrance with the cornfield in there. And I just love it. And so that's my track. We've got the Michelin Man. We've got some figurines from the Dukes of Hazzard up there on the Ark. We've got Geppetto, which is has a special meaning to my wife and I, the Geppetto figure. That's a place where we met. That's how we met. And that's a long story there. And we have other things around the track. We have, our son is into videography, and that's him on the camera right there. And this is his buddy in Victory Lane. And we have Daisy Duke here, and of course the winners, the three on the podium, with the girl from the Carrera ambulance, the nurse figure. She's administering any drivers who need help after the race. And so that's that. That's a tour of the new Circuit of the Ark track. And let's take you for a spin. So we'll see how this thing is working. These are the garages that my grandkids like to park their cars in when they're not using them. They rotate some cars out, and so they can use those garages. And like I say, when they want to upgrade the scenery, that's up to them to have at it. So let's take a tour with the car. All right, and there you have it. That's the Circuit of the Ark in its first major, in my opinion, major upgrade. And I hope you enjoy it. It works out well for me. I'm loving it. If I get 4 more years out of it the same way I did the first version of it, I guess you can call this 2.0 because I had a 1.0, I guess 1.1. For me, this is my 2.0. And if I can get 4 years or even more, if I get the rest of my life out of this, I'd be happy. And I'm enjoying myself, just having a great time. Carrera Digital, just enjoying life and loving the hobby. And thank you all for watching, and have a great day.